What's up, sports bettors? It's Matt here with OddsJam. What I'm going to be doing in this video is giving you my money line favorites parlay for NFL Week 4. For the third straight week, to talk about last week, I lost my money line parlay by one team. I had everything else hit, but I had the Saints money line and they lost to the Panthers. Going to be a rough year, I think, for New Orleans, but unfortunately I have just had horrible luck with these money line parlays. It's part of the risk with doing a parlay is that you could hit every single bet except for one, and that doesn't matter because your bet will lose. But overall, I will say I have the majority of these picks I'm hitting at like an 80% rate with the teams that end up winning. I just have had one team each week that has been losing, which is unfortunate. But I will continue to do these moneyline parlays because I think I will get one to hit. It's a strategy that worked well for me last year, has just been unlucky this year. But what I have up on the screen here is the OddsJam NFL page. So if you go to oddsjam.com, you go to sports, you go to NFL, it pulls up the moneyline odds for every single game, as you can see here. So it's a really easy way to immediately determine, okay, who should I put in this moneyline parlay? So looking through the slate, there are a lot of favorites here that I'm not super confident in. The Lions are one that I do like, but you never know. With the Lions, I mean, they blew a 14-point lead against the Vikings. They really should have won that game. They kind of blew it. The Vikings are a team that has looked good for like 2 quarters of the year, maybe 4 of the year, but they looked horrible against the Eagles. They looked bad in the first half against the Lions, and they looked bad in the second half in their game against the Packers. So don't really have a lot of faith in the Vikings. The Browns are a team that I like. We'll get to them. The Cowboys, I want to wait and see how they play today. I'm not sure I'm confident. Same thing with the Giants. I'm sure as heck not betting on Mitchell Trubisky to do anything. The Eagles are a team that look good, but so do the Jaguars. And, the Jaguars have been heavy underdogs the past 2 weeks, have won both of them outright. Not touching this Panthers-Cardinals game, not touching this Raiders-Broncos game. Packers, obviously, I think are going to win, but at minus 500, the odds there obviously aren't ideal. But what I ended up settling on, there are 2 teams that have reasonable odds that I like to win. And they're both teams that I talked about. Number 1, the Browns against the Falcons. So the Browns, I think they just have an easy formula to replicate to victories. You lean on the run game, you get after it in your pass rush. Basically how they won both their games this year. They just rely on Nick Chubb, they rely on Kareem Hunt. And the Falcons have a pretty porous defense in general, especially a porous run defense. And I will admit, Jacoby Brissett has looked pretty good. He's always been a pretty decent game manager, but he's looked better than I was expecting. It helps that he has good receivers, and Amari Cooper, David Njoku is performing well at the tight end. It also helps that he has, if not the one of the best offensive lines in the entire NFL. So the Browns money line are a team that I'm going to add for my money line favorites parlay. I will say, and let me move my camera over and you'll understand why. It's really cool using OddsJam for these parlays. It's cool because you can add plays to your parlay and then it will tell you which book is giving you the best odds on that parlay. So if you look at this little dollar sign here, right? If you click a team, just look at the dollar sign. So if I click this parlay, that will turn from white to purple, basically signifying that I have added a play to this parlay. So the Cleveland Browns money line is the first one. I like them a lot to beat the Falcons. Falcons did pick up their first win against Seattle. Wasn't the most impressive of games. They led up 23 points to Geno Smith. And then the next game, I like the Bills to beat the Ravens. The Ravens defense, I think, they got issues on defense. They have injury issues. On offense, they're on their 4th string left tackle, and they still haven't really been able to get the running game going yet with J.K. Dobbins coming back from injury. But the people they're replacing him with just haven't been able to do much at all. Now, Lamar Jackson has been absolutely incredible, just amazing. But I worry about the Ravens defense because of all the injuries, and they've just been bad for like 2 years now. And the Bills coming off of the loss to the Dolphins where they didn't even score an offensive touchdown in the second half, despite getting to the goal line multiple times, I think are going to come out and they're going to be ready to pour it on the Baltimore Ravens. So I will like the Bills as my second play for this Moneyline favorites parlay. So now that I've added them, you see the check mark here. If you click this button up here, which is why I moved my camera, you see the best odds it is giving you are on DraftKings at plus 182, and these odds are better than the OddsJam line at plus 176, which is showing you that there is some sort of value. So I think that this is going to be my official Moneyline favorite parlay. Unfortunately, I am unable to lock this in because I have a lock on my account on DraftKings, as I just need to get a new ID because I moved places. So I'll log in to my account, and what you will see here is that it won't let me. Your account has been locked. So unfortunately, I can't lock this in and ride with you guys, but this is going to be my favorite my Moneyline favorite parlay, just the Browns and the Bills, plus 182. I think those are good odds. Put a half a unit on this one. So put $50 to win, essentially, to win 91. I think those are really good odds. That's really good value. So that's going to be my Moneyline favorite parlay, Bills versus Browns. Now for my Survivor pick, I figured I would just combine these into one video. So for Survivor, the nice thing is you don't need to worry about the spread. You don't need to worry about anything. The team just needs to win straight up. And I think this week has a pretty obvious Survivor pick. I am going to go with the Green Bay Packers for my Survivor pick. I think that the Patriots are already, I don't think they're a good team, and now they're missing Mac Jones. And I think the Packers, despite a gross victory against the Bucks last week, their defense is really good. They can do enough on offense with their two stud running backs in A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. And then they can get enough done in the passing game with, like Dobbs will show up a little bit. Cobb has been pretty good for them. Lazard scored a touchdown. Now, Sammy Watkins is out, but like whatever. And then at tight end, Robert Tonyan is fine. So the Packers are going to be my official Survivor picks. Let me just add them here. Like I said, I am still alive so far on my Survivor picks. Last week I went with the Bengals. They got the win for me. And that is going to be it. The Moneyline favorite parlay to confirm, we're looking at the Bills and the Browns in a Moneyline parlay. Lock this in for one. Oh, it looks like the odds changed, and now the odds are a little bit different. So now I can actually lock this in on a book, and it would be plus EV for me. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that on Tipico, who does have me limited, unfortunately. So I won't be able to get a ton on this one, but at least I'm able to lock it in for a play that does have positive expected value for it. Like the odds must have changed because Pinnacle is all the way down at plus 162 and DraftKings is all the way at plus 178, but I can still get it at plus 172 on Tipico, showing that there is some value. So at least I'm able to lock this in for you guys, or with you guys, we can ride together. So we are looking at the odds, or NFL. We are looking at the Browns money line, and we are looking at the Bills money line, and that should be plus, looks like the odds changed a little bit, plus 169, still plus EV. So I would like to put a half unit on it. Let's see how much they let me get. So I couldn't get that. Let's see if they let me get 25. Wouldn't let me get that. Let's see if they let me get 20. Wouldn't let me get that. We're just going to keep going down to 15. And $10 is what they let me get on this one. Moneyline parlay of the Bills and the Browns. And that's going to be it for this video. So again, Survivor pick to confirm Packers moneyline. And that's it. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me on this one after losing the first 3 of these moneyline parlays. But hopefully we'll get one of these to cash. Just remember to subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Sweat the Bet podcast to get all of our picks moving forward. And that's it. So appreciate you watching and have a good one.